Hey everybody, this is Gary with Easy Go Junk Removal. No longer junk removal. I've done all the hard work and have been really toiling hard on getting this name change happening. And it's no easy task, I can tell you that. So we have been slow this last month. And one of the reasons we've been slow is I let go of my Google Ad Manager. For the first 3 months, I did fairly well. I wouldn't say like busting it out, but fairly well for what I had purchased. I was happy with it. And so let me see. October was good. November was great. December was good. January was a bust. Thank God for repeat customers, number one, and number two, local stuff. The connections that I made locally, and that I rank number one in my area, the next town over, the next town over, and the next town over. And I'm fortunate with that, and that's all my hard work and connecting and making sure that I'm doing all the right things locally, and not to mention that I'm in a good location. So I let my ad guy go. No hard feelings, but I was a little miffed at it. And this is something that I think everybody should be aware of. Um, when I let him go, he canceled the account, and all that information, which I paid for the setup, I paid for the Google Ads. I didn't go through his company to pay for the Google Ads. I paid him 20% of what I paid for Google's. And so I paid that, and then when he closed his account, all that information was gone. And that's a history, and your history is really, really important. So when you go with these Google ad guys, make sure that you're going to have access to all that information, because what we're doing now, we're starting from scratch. I'm lucky I got a very competent ad guy and an SEO guy, and that's the exciting news, is that I actually have a new website. New website is TucsonJunkHauling.com. I want you to go by and check it out, if you will, and send me a message, man. That'd be kind of cool. Say, hey, I checked out your website, and just say hi. But the reason we went with that is it's a great keyword, Tucson, where I live, or the area I want to service, junk and hauling. Great keywords there. And eventually the SEO guy will build up my presence as Easy Go Junk Removal. That's who I'm at. And that's why I'm not wearing a shirt that says junk removal or a hat that says junk removal. Everything is different. And I'm working on a logo, which should be here really simple. And I'm one of those guys who want just a very simple logo. For instance, look at the logo on my hat. The logo on my hat is very simple. There's not a lot to it. The logo on my shirt, there's not a lot to it. Who doesn't know the Chevrolet logo? So that's my point. Or the Ford, man, it just says Ford, right? Circle, Ford. And it's pretty much how the successful labels go. And I don't want like 50 things going on at once inside my logo. I just want something when people see it and they go, oh, that guy. That's what I want. So that's what I've been working on. And I'm hoping to get that logo done in a couple of days. And we're just working on it with the person that I hired. I had to do it on the cheap, man. I've really got to get smart with the money and stuff. And we've been blessed. I mean, we didn't have to draw anything out last month, and we didn't have to draw out anything the month before. This month looking a little scary, but we've been doing all the groundwork for the fast times. And I'm really happy about my SEO guy. He came highly recommended. Thank you, Joseph Martinez, and also Jeff Glass. Thank you for those recommendations. He's highly recommended. So, and I like him, and he's very approachable, and he's smarter in this stuff than I am or ever will be. And he's old school. He's a hard worker, and that's what I like about him. and so I'm part of his beginning. So today was really interesting. We had a job. It wasn't a big job, a little over half a load. So it was hey, every job right now is a good job, and so it was a little over half a load, and it was a great connection. She is a realtor, and her client is the one who paid us. But the realtor said, "Oh man, I'm a member of this. I'm a member of that. I'm a member of this. You have more cards." So we exchanged, stacks of cards with one another, and she got us while driving down the freeway, and she took a picture of my truck from behind and sent it to her client. And she told me the whole story today, and it was fantastic. And we wound up just really connecting. My wife and her connected extremely well. My wife has 23 years or 25 years of real estate knowledge in Texas, and was a realtor there for 23, 25 years. And so they really connected and that sort of thing, and it's fantastic. And so I made that connection. So it just gets me further into the Tucson area, because I want to serve the whole county and then some. And that just gets me another connection. So never underestimate your logo, your running billboard, because everywhere you go, people see it. You want to make it very clear as to what you're doing. That number, a lot of people say don't put that number on there. I put my number on there because I can't tell you how many people have clicked and called me later. I'll take that every day. That is just fantastic. I know a couple of people here says, I wouldn't even put your number on there. I would put your number loud and clear. I would put that logo loud and clear, and I put whether or not you do junk removal or whatever it is that you're doing loud and clear, so people know. And the next time they see you running through town, and the next time it starts being what they call TOMA. And TOMA is called, it's an acronym for Top of Mind Awareness. And I used to have a radio show and talk show, and it's a very important factor, because even though they don't buy now, they don't need your services now, you keep running billboard or ad or whatever you're doing time and time again. When it does become a necessity, I need a junk guy. Oh, wait a second. Easy Go Junk. He's got that little man. That's what I want. I want to be top of mind awareness. TOMA. So we got our new website built. I've changed the name of my Google business, and I was told actually by the guy who was running my other ads, and several other people said that you can't change your name and save your reviews. And this is what I've been dragging my feet with. And my new SEO guy walked me right through it, and it was as easy as pie. He had me set up everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 8 things that I had to get done before. And then, because these bots, man, they crawl all over the place, make sure you're legit, that you're not some scammer or whatever. And he just really did a number on making it just as clear as possible. And all 175 as of today positive reviews came through. And my name now on my Google page is Easy Go Junk Removal. I am so happy about that, and I'm very happy with who I went with. That's another thing, guys. I can't tell you how many people I've contacted about SEO or have contacted me. Dozens. Big companies, little companies, junk removers, junk guys, all that kind of stuff, promising you everything, but when it comes to writing, they promise you nothing, because, I can't really promise you that. And again, I was eye-opening that this guy kept all my information. And I don't know about everybody else, because I was a little fish as far as spending goes. But if I had known that, I would have never gone with that sort of a deal, because nobody is forever, right? But that information is very pertinent to you being a success down the road if you leave them. And it's quite scary because I know several people that are with that person that if they ever left, they'd be losing so much money because they spend anywhere from three to $12,000, $15,000 in ads a month, and for them to lose that kind of control and that kind of information is just devastating. It was devastating for me, and I was only with this guy for, I think, a total of 5 months, and I wanted that information. I needed that information. I wanted that information on which keywords were working, which things were not working, all that kind of stuff, man. It gave you a history of what you were doing. And he closed the account and says, hey, that's it. And I'm like going, that's my information. That's the information I bought. So be careful on who you're doing business with, because not everybody is what they say they're going to do. They sound fun. They sound nice. They don't tolerate this. They don't tolerate, bad people and whatever. And then all of a sudden, man, they take all your information and they run, and they're not giving it back. They don't allow you to have it. And I was kind of dismayed about that, to be quite honest with you. And so, and he won't get my endorsement. Not that I'm a big fish here or nothing, but if somebody asks me about it, I will say, yeah, my experience wasn't good with him. So that's a fact with me. It's just my opinion, and that's something that I just don't think is right. You pay somebody to go in and teach you how to, or not teach you, but he taught me. I mean, he was saying you got to get in and do this and that, and then she close the account and not let you have access to that information is ludicrous. Absolutely dumb. So back to this Adidas Savage Wear and not junk removal. I actually feel pretty good about the name change. I like my new name of the company, Easy Go Junk, and we're very much looking forward to getting this truck redone and my trailer redone. I'm going to be a little more bold with it this time around and just make it stand out a little more. Like I said, it's just a roving billboard. I can't wait to do that. And I'm probably going to do the sides of my pickup and just make it stand out a little more. So when I drive by, it catches people's eyes. Because, like I said, today was an eye-opener for me. And it wasn't the first time, but it was, boom. Okay, man, this is a realtor. And she's driving behind me on I-19, and boom, she takes a picture of my truck and lands a job for our company. Very nice, man. That is organic as it gets, baby. I'm telling you, man. Just say no to pesticides. Say no to pest, too. And say no to bad ad managers. And say no to bad SEO people. Say no to just bad people. If you're good at removing junk, man, we need to get rid of all the junk, if you know what I mean. So a little bit of an addendum here. I paid for the setup of my ad campaign. I paid $400 for that person to go in and set up what he said took 14 hours. Now, the next guy who's doing my ad campaign, I sat down and shared a screen with him, and he went through it. It didn't take 14 hours. And I can tell you, now we haven't, I can tell you it didn't take 14 hours. And that's the other thing, is I can also tell you that we haven't started that campaign yet. And so I'll know more, and so will this person. And he's not promising the moon and the sky. He's saying it's going to take a while, sort of the last guy. And he said that the difference is he'll actually manage it and work it. And that's everything to me, because it was apparent when I got in, before I canceled everything, I got in, took a look at what was going on, and it was apparent that my account was not managed. I think it was set and let go, and I wound up paying, I think it was an average of, hold your breath, $97 a click. Now, And I also asked for no single items. I found that was left on. That's expensive, man. You lose money when you do stuff like that. And he was supposed to be managing it. Okay, buyer beware, and I totally get that. I'm not crying. I'm just moving on. Stop doing business. But the point is I didn't pay him to just run my campaign, and he got billed by Google, and then he tacked on 20%. I paid Google, and he tacked on 20%. So that information, that account was mine. All that information was mine. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And so I'm learning about SEO. I'm learning about ad campaigns. I'm learning about websites, and I'm learning about Google Business. I'm learning more than I ever learned before, and it all comes down to whether or not you're a person that you've given the keys to your business. You've given them the keys, man. It's like giving someone the keys to your car and saying, take off, do what you want. But he's got a teacher's heart, and he teaches, and I'm so appreciative of that. And I'm hoping that someday soon that I can sit down and do an interview with him and get his philosophies and what he's doing. And so anyway, this is Gary with Easy Go Junk Removal in Tucson, Pima County, and surrounding cities. We'd be glad to help you. Anyway, everybody take care, and I wish you a very profitable season.